exactly what we do. All right? You have to keep that in mind. Serak is also deceptive, and that's part of our strategy. So if you came to train with me, or if you came to train with somebody that really trained under the Detours, right? Most of the time, yes, when you're filming a demonstration, it's going to look more like a sambut. It's going to look more like a two-man set where I am letting you do your technique, where I am letting you study your pukulan, where I am letting you study your position, okay? What you don't see is when we train, when I don't let you do that, and then you got to make that shit work for you, okay? That is when you're really doing silat, and I'll explain why. Because the word silat to the old timers means that which you have trained and achieve something with it, that which you have trained to achieve or acquire skill. Okay, so before they get to that point, and I can tell you this for a fact, before you even get to the point where you're really doing counter for counter, and we'll get to that subject at another video, before you even get to that kind of idea of counter for counter, they want to make sure you've done thousands, if not 10,000 reps of basic entries off of the one line, okay? Because then you say, okay, well, yeah, these Serak guys, man, all they do is they hold the punch out, and the dude comes in and does his juru hands, and he does his sweep, and that's not going to work in real life. Okay, I will say, to an extent, you're right. However, if you're up against somebody who's trained it 10,000 times, and you throw that first punch, and before that first punch can touch my nose, I've already moved in on you, hit you, off-balanced you, swept you, and cranked your neck. Did it work? Now, I can tell you this. A lot of the people that taught me used it in the real world and also did bodyguard work, and they used it in their profession. I did bodyguard work in 2004 up until 2009, used it, and it works. Let me explain to you something. The mentality in Serak, once you understand true timing and distance and positioning, I don't care about your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh punch, because I'm not going to give you the position, and I'm not going to allow your body to be in position to punch me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times after your first punch. And that is something that is trained in a specific manner. You probably haven't seen it on YouTube, because most of the shit on YouTube is not truly Serak, nor completely showing what Serak is. And that, I can tell you for a fact, the old timers and the people who the old timers have taught were always told, it's a family art. Not everything has to be public. Not everything has to be shared, okay? Now, I share a lot, and I know other colleagues of mine in the silat world that share a lot, and we do it because we love the art, and we want to give credit to where the art came from and those that evolved the art, okay? So, sure, the Detours family, they get a lot of heat from a lot of people. Yes, true, they didn't invent silat, but they evolved it, okay? They were the first to bring it to the U.S., and they were the first to put it up against boxing, Western grappling, kickboxing, karate, kung fu, you name it, okay? And their Serak became, or evolved to handle any style of combat, okay? Now, again, you say to yourself, well, why do they hold the punch out on that straight line? Let me get back to that, because I'm kind of going on different tangents here. It is to train how to deal and sense the distance and the timing of the first attack. Because once I can handle confidently that attack coming to my nose or coming to my face, then it's actually much easier to handle attacks coming from different lines. So this is a line, This coming here is another line. This is another line. This is another line. This is another line. At the end of the day, all attacks will come on a line. Even if they're arced, right, like a hook, it's going to come on a line at some point. So you have to understand how to deal with an attack on one line first and then on multiple lines. Because don't kid yourself, okay? Here's another secret about Serak that the Filipino martial artists understand this, and some of the old fencers understand it. I'm going to tell it to you now. In the Serak world, truly, the platforms, the panjars, are not just on the floor. They also pertain to a, let's say, 3 or 4 dimension where they're basically on the ground horizontally, at the level of the knees horizontally, at the level of the hips horizontally.